a puny little child can be a villain.
Yes, I am pretty despicable.
Well, the sixth installment of the Minions movie franchise, The Rise of Gru, is out in theaters today. But sometimes the sixth installment of any film is just sometimes one or two or three too many. Joining us now for our weekly box office preview is Erik Childress, film critic and host of the Movie Madness podcast. Thanks so much for giving us some time, as always. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Minions sequel, good or not? Worth the money or what?
Well, I have never been a fan of this particular franchise, nor the company Illumination that has put out many of these movies. Pixar seems to be for everyone. Illumination seems to be more for children, and they haven't really risen to a level that I've been particularly happy with.
Elaborate on that a little bit. Why? What's your beef?
Well, I just don't think they're particularly funny. I think the first Despicable Me film had a very clever premise that I didn't think really sort of rose to the occasion. I think the sequels have just sort of, kind of just clamped down on that and just been more of the same. And the Minions spinoff, which everyone loves the Minions because they're just goofy and funny and don't speak a different language. And it just that one turned out to be not particularly clever as well. So this one is pretty much just more of that.
You think the kids will like it, though? Because it's loud and bright.
Like the Minions, yeah. I think that there's a certain subset of the culture that really loves these characters, and they're cute, they're funny. Just the movies that they're in just not particularly interesting.
Now, animated family movies have been hit or miss over the last 2 years. So what is the outlook as now we're here in July, which is kind of known for family release time of year. What are you expecting?
Well, it kind of remains to be seen. I think a lot of people are going to be looking in the industry at this release this weekend because since 2020, many of the higher profile animated films have been relegated to streaming services. And since then, we've only had two family films at the time gross over $100 million. People are still trying to figure out precisely why Pixar's Lightyear did not do as well, which is going to be crossing $100 million today. And Hollywood is kind of hoping for a number similar to what Sonic the Hedgehog 2 did earlier this year. I mean, this franchise, I might not be a fan, but these movies have grossed $3.65 billion for its studio. So if the number this weekend with the holidays should do pretty well comes in lower than 70 million, is it because families are not coming back in full force to theaters yet? Or is it just kids just getting tired of the Minions? So I think that going forward, July is going to be pretty loaded and Minions is going to lead the way. But after that, there are only about 3 family films or animated films on the docket for the rest of the year. So if this movie doesn't do as well as they're hoping this weekend, I think they may be looking to re-strategize how they market family films.
And as you said, listen, some folks may not feel comfortable yet being in a movie theater because of COVID. The shots for 5 and under or 4 and under just came out, so maybe we're waiting for that to kind of get in fuller strike. Could be a host of reasons because Lord knows it's a weird time. Now, it's also the first time in years that 4 different films grossed over $20 million. That was last weekend. Elvis edged out Top Gun Maverick for the top spot with $31.2 million. Jurassic World, Dominion, and the horror flick The Black Phone also hit the mark. So taking all those numbers into consideration, what does that mean, you think, for the box office moving forward? Are people feeling better, or is it still a little iffy?
Well, it's a really kind of positive sign for the box office that we've seen this summer. This because, as you mentioned, this is the first time since Thanksgiving weekend of 2018 that 4 movies in the top 10 grossed over 20 million. And it's a good sign, too, because it's a good mix of movies. It's something for various genres. Lightyear nearly made it 20 million grossers. It was very close. But, 2 of the films are bona fide hits in Top Gun and Jurassic World. But you had 2 new movies as well that were more for adults, Elvis Presley and The Black Phone. And, no R-rated film since the pandemic began has grossed 100 million yet. And 5 that made it over 60 million, 4 of them were sequels or remakes to horror films. So The Black Phone being an original in many respects makes that a promising number. So we'll see how that and Elvis hold this weekend.
And I'm just curious, how do those opening weekend numbers compare to pre-COVID figures when the world was normal and people loved going to the theater?
I think those numbers are pretty close to what the numbers would have been pre-COVID, particularly Elvis and the Black Phone. So I think that that's a little bit of sign of normalcy. I think Black Phone maybe overperformed a little bit, which is a good sign. And we'll just see if Elvis kind of holds the way that other musical biopic films have done over the years, because that could get it over 100 million.
All right, Erik, as always, appreciate your time and your expertise, sir. Thank you, and have a good 4th. We'll be right back.
Thank you, too.